y'all. Welcome back to our channel. We're Gills on Wheels. And if you're new here, I'm Patty.
Shane.
And we have been full-time RVers for the last 5 years. We have traveled to all 50 states, about 40 national parks that we've been to. So, I wouldn't say we're professionals, but we kind of know what we're doing. We've also been RVing. How long have we had an RV? Do you remember what year it was that we bought our first RV? No.
A long time ago.
It was a long time ago. We were in North Dakota. I know it was over 20 years ago when we bought our very first RV. We both also grew up camping. My parents, we started out tent camping, and then my parents got campers like when we were much older. Did you have campers when you were growing up too? Yeah.
Yeah, we had a truck camper, tent,
Oh,
but no pull behind or anything.
I didn't know that y'all had a truck camper. Very cool. If you guys don't know, if you're new here and you don't know a lot about us, we did live in a truck camper and travel to Alaska for about 1.5 years, 2 years that we kind of lived in and out of the truck camper in our old fifth wheel. But anyway, so what we are here for today, we are going to share with you guys our top 5-ish, there might be a little bit more, things that we think that you should invest in if you have a camper, if you own a camper, if you're buying a camper. These are the things that we would not RV without, and we're just going to share them with you. We're not saying you have to go out and spend all this money, because we don't want you to do that. But we think, say surge protector is a little bit, it could be a little bit expensive, but we think it's worth it in the end. It could save your whole electrical system, right?
Yeah, whole RV wire, everything.
Yeah. We had a friend recently that just had the same problem. Their RV, they had like a surge or something, right? And it kind of fried their electrical system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, lightning got it. And
Oh, that's what it was.
burnt up everything.
Yeah. So anyway, so these are some of the things that we think are a great investment for you as an RVer. So come on, let's go. Item, appliance, whatever you want to call it, that we think that you should have in an RV, and we've had in every single RV that we've ever owned. Someone taught us this years ago at a campground, or showed us theirs, and it's amazing the amount of water that you can get inside of one of these. So this is our dehumidifier. We think a dehumidifier is a must in an RV, no matter what RV you have. I know some people are like, oh, but I live in Arizona or somewhere where it's really dry. You might not need it as much as you would in, say, like right now we're in South Georgia, and when we're in Texas, we dump this thing sometimes twice a day. Just depends. So this one that we have, this one is a GE profile, and it is 35, what did we say? Pints. It's 30. This one is 35 pints, so it holds a lot of water. It's on wheels, the one that we have. I will link it down below so that you can see. Our tank is full right now, so it is leaking a little bit on the floor, but that's okay. I'll clean it up. Anyway, so yeah, you can set it to whatever. Ooh, there's lots of settings. So under our table is about the only place that we have that we can put ours, because our RV is kind of small. I'll get Shane to take a little bit more videos where it's not just where you're seeing my legs, and the dehumidifier. But anyway, so it has like the percentage of the humidity that you want on there. I think we usually keep ours at like 35. So that would be like 35% humidity in the RV. So the RV walls are not like in your house. They're much thinner. There's also cracks and like gaps in between the slides and different things. So it's just not sealed like your home. So you just have to make sure we think you need a dehumidifier. A lot of people that are RVers, especially us full-timers, realize how much moisture gets inside of your RV. You could get moisture from taking a shower, because it's in such a small space. You get moisture from breathing, from propane in the winter. And the winter time is whenever it can be worse, even if you're in a dry climate. The propane puts moisture into the air, which also, so the reason that you don't want the moisture in the air is because it causes mold in your RVs. And anywhere, where there's damp, like under a mattress or any other places, we've never had that issue because we've always had a dehumidifier. So it keeps all the moisture out of the camper. And then now I'm going to show you how much water we have inside here right now. We are mooch stocking at my family's house, so I'm going to dump it outside. You can dump it down your sink if you want. Obviously, if you don't have a full hookup, you don't want to fill up your tanks. So you can dump it outside. You can dump it on some plants, dump it down your toilet, whatever you want to do. It's just water from the air. And anyway, so yeah, we think that this is a must-have to keep your camper from getting moldy, anything in your camper from getting moldy. It also, for some reason, because it takes the moisture out of the air, your camper does, it stays cooler in the summer. The air conditioner runs a little better. So yeah, that's why we think you should have a dehumidifier. All right, now you can see how, see it a little bit better and see what actual size it is. It's not huge, but we've had some that are like just little countertop. They just don't work as well. We think the bigger ones are what you need for, if you have a, I would say medium size to definitely a larger size fifth wheel or travel trailer, then this is a good size, a 35 pint. And anyway, I'm going to show you how it looks whenever I go to dump it. So you just pull out this little bottom thing here. And as you can see, or I don't know if you can see right now, but it's full of water. So I'm going to go dump it outside. All right. So this amount of water that is full, this was just from overnight. We turned it on last night before we went to bed. Well, it's always running, but this is what, how much filled up from overnight. So I'm going to take it out here and dump it outside. So that was a lot. You don't want that in your camper and causing mold.
All right, so our next item is a surge protector for the camper, and we were talking about earlier that our friends, they've got an electrical short in theirs from a lightning strike, and it fried all the wires in the camper, still not fixed, and that's been over a year ago. So this right here, this is a Power Watchdog. Ours is a 50 amp surge protector. It'll tell you anything that's gone wrong with, if you're only on a single phase, or you drop the line or whatever, or if you have a spike, anything, and it'll either cut it off or it'll just let you know, that you don't have to cut it off, but you need to figure out what the situation is. And so this one is like I said, a 50 amp. So what I do is, because when you're at a campground in the boxes, you never know if if you're on the right voltage, whatever. So I plug this end in to the box, turn it on, and then this thing will click on and it'll tell you if anything's wrong. Then you shut it off, plug everything in, and then you know you're good to turn your power on. All right, another thing this thing does is it's also got an app for your phone. It's either iOS or Android, doesn't matter which one. And you can monitor it from there also. It's got all the same settings, and it tells you there'll be a green light's good, red, blue. There's all different lights, so it'll tell you right there what the problem is, if there's a problem. All right, for our next item, we're talking about water hose purification, really, or not hose, water purification. So what we do is we use this inline Taste Pure Camco inline water filter. And this breaks it down pretty good, because you can use it for drinking water. A lot of campsites we go to, the water could be rusty, a little bit, whatever. But this thing right here, it works pretty good. I think they've got a 6-month life, and then you need to change it. But you can get these from right off of Amazon, Walmart. They're pretty well sold everywhere. And when you use one of these, you also want to make sure that you get a water hose that's rated for drinking water. This is another Camco hose here. You want to make sure you don't want it just through a regular, rubber garden hose or something. That enhances the bad flavor. So you want to make sure you have a good usually they're blue. Just a good water drinking hose. All right, for our next one, we got another backup, and this one actually was already installed in our camper. But you can buy these if you want. But it's a really good extra filtration. So what we've got in here is going to be a Novo H2O water filter. It's a 3-step system, and those cartridges should be changed once a year. And they're very simple. They're screw on, screw off, and right up at the top you can see a little valve up at the top. So you don't have to shut your water off to your camper to change those. It isolates the filters from the camper water. All right, with these 3 filters, I mean, they go down to the smallest of microns for cleaning the water. All 3 of them are 3 different steps. So you've got like a sediment one, an iron one, and something. I'm not really sure what all the steps are, but it takes care of all that. I mean, it does a really good job, but you just have to remember to change them out once a year.
All right, next up is another one that's important for water in your RV. So the number one enemy, whatever you want to call it, for an RV is water. If you have water leak, if your roof leaks, anything like that, and you get inside, you could get mold, things will just deteriorate because they're made of like particle wood or plywood or whatever. They're not made with good, well, anytime that water is on wood or whatever, but most of the campers are, they're just not made for water leaks. So that's your number one enemy. So you want to make sure if you do have one that you take care of it quickly. One way that you could do that is by having one of these. We have one right here under our sink. This is where anywhere where you have water connections underneath is where you would get a leak, a water leak. So right here under the sink, we have one. This is a water leak detector alarm, I guess. I'm not sure the correct name, but anyway, so it's a water alarm. So we have one of these. You can get them off of Amazon. They also Bluetooth to your phone. So if you're not at the RV, it'll let you know also if you have a leak. Because if you're in the RV, it will wake you up in the middle of the night. It is very loud, and I'll show you in just a minute. But we have one here under the kitchen sink. We have one under the bathroom sink. We have one in the pantry all the way in the back. And the reason we have it in the pantry is because the shower, that's where the shower hoses and everything, pipes, whatever you want to call it, that's where they run down, and it's right behind the pantry. So in our last RV, that's where we had a leak. So that's why we put one of these there. And then Shane has one down by our Nautilus system where all the water, or behind the Nautilus system, I think, where all the pipes and everything go down under the camper where there might be a water leak. That's where Shane also has one there. And we've had this thing go off before, so it has saved us definitely a few times. So I'm going to put water on it so you guys can see how loud it is. And you'll know, because you're like, well, that would never wake me up if I was sleeping or something. But I'm going to show you that it does. And hopefully I can get it turned off pretty quick. So we'll see how. So what do you... Some water. Maybe it's on the... Oh, there it goes. See? That was pretty loud. That will wake you up while you're sleeping, I promise you. So you can just wipe it off. And then you just reset it with the little button to reset it. And then you're good to go. Then you can just stick it right back under here for, hopefully you don't have a leak. Oh, it's still going off. I didn't get all the water off. But anyway, you could see how much that it could save you. And it's just a tiny little trickle is all it needs to start the alarm.
All right, next, you always want to have a good sewer system. So what I've got here is, if you can see down here, this is the one that comes with the camper, and this is usually all it comes with. So if you've ever been out to a campground and you get ready to take your cap off from the original, you always get a little extra something come out of there, and sometimes, it could be not what you want. So I got this one also. So what it does is this one closes and this one closes. So when I take my cap off, I don't get any of the residue come out at all. And then I screw my hose on, then just open both caps before you dump, or both valves before you dump. This is really good because I've been there, and it's not very good, because a lot of times, you know, after you've dumped wherever you were before and you close this off, you still get some runoff, and there's a cap right here. And then when you take that cap off to hook up again, whatever ran down here, it comes out on the ground, and it's not good. So, yep, always have it nice and sealed, and you'll be good to go when you take your cap off. All right, and the last part about the sewer system is you always want to make sure you have a good hose. They've got hoses, excuse me, they got hoses out there that, you know, you have to assemble and stuff, and if you don't get them just right and tight enough, they come off and everything. So this is one we got. We really like it, have had no problems with it. And it is made by Rhino, and it's 15 feet. And this is a really sturdy hose. You can tell by the way the ends are on it. As long as you can't move them, twist them, they won't leak. Yeah, it's just a really good hose. It's a little thicker than the other one, little small stuff you get at other places, but this has been a really good one.
Does it leak?
No.
No, this one doesn't leak. I know we've had some cheaper ones that we've bought, and they kind of leak sometimes, but this one doesn't leak. So.
Yeah. Nope, it's a really good hose. And also, let me get this situated here. Also, I carry around, this is a 15-foot one here, but I also carry around two 10-footers, just in case. We've been to campgrounds before where you hook up, and you have to be way back there to even get your sewer hooked up. So you just add two together, or three, whatever you need, and you can reach. So if you've got room, I would suggest always carry, and especially for a backup, just in case. So the reason that I carry two extra 10-footers is for the extension, and just in case something happens to your one hole. You don't want to be stuck with just one in case something happens. A lot of campgrounds will sell parts, but there's a lot out there that don't have a store or anything where you can get one. So you're going to have to go try to find one, whatever, and it's going to leak all over the floor. So just make sure, if you got room, to carry a couple or three.
All right, we hope you guys enjoyed what we shared today. Again, these are not things that are absolutely necessary to get out and camp. These are just things that we think are a must-have and that will definitely help you and can prevent damage from your electrical system, from your water system, from your sewage. Make sure you have clean drinking water. All of those things that we think are pretty important, right?
Yeah, and there's, I'm sure, a lot more out there, but these are some of the ones that are kind of the basic, but almost the most important.
Right.
There's a lot of want-to-have stuff out there or whatever that you don't necessarily need. You get it if you want to, but these are kind of stuff that's going to help you stay on the road for long.
Mm-hmm. A good investment is what we're calling them. Just something that's a good investment for you as a camper, RVer, whatever you have. And it's helped us, and we hope that it'll help you as well. So thank you guys so much again for coming. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment. Let us know if you have any of these products or others that you think we should add to the list. And if you think we should make another list of different types of, gadgets, components, whatever it might be, let us know down below. And thank you guys again. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss another one of our episodes. And
see you out there.